right, guys. So we're here with the Outer Haven people. Martin Corvetto, Sebastian Serpa. It was going to be just Martin, but Sebastian showed up, so it's a good surprise. So how you guys doing?
Amazing. Chilling, vibing, generally relaxing.
Yeah? How about you, Sebastian?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
He's happy he tagged along.
Yeah.
What was the plan? How did that come about?
We're training a ground game tonight, this morning actually.
Yeah.
And then we went to Tiago's Tacos and he got really jealous. He was like, how can I get on this too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way you're an hour away from here. And I'm 10 minutes. And you got invited before I did.
It's Nogi.
No, it's both, man. I had a guy with that just like focuses on gi and stuff.
Good to know I was about to walk out.
Oh, yeah? You don't like nogi for nothing?
A little bit.
He's catching up. He's catching up.
Yeah, catching up.
So usually the way that I start this is asking how you guys got into jiu-jitsu. Since it's both of you, I think we should do both, and then we're going to branch off from that. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good? Go ahead, Martin.
All right. Well, the way I started was actually a little funny. I was in middle school and I had a girlfriend. I got an altercation with a guy due to my girlfriend. I got into a fight and I lost. And I was very unhappy about it. And I started boxing. I sucked at it. So I did jiu-jitsu instead.
So you got into jiu-jitsu because you sucked at boxing.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
pretty cool. And then you've been doing it for how long?
Now it's probably 6 years. I started when I was 14. It's been 6 years since.
6 years, man. And so you went up the kids ranks a little bit, right?
I skipped most of the belts. So my first day in jiu-jitsu, I was wearing a gray and white belt. They didn't have any white belts at the gym. So
Yeah.
I just showed up gray and white. My coach was like, "You trained before?" And I was like, "Sure."
Wait,
Yeah,
you
I
showed
have."
up with a gray and white belt?
Yes. It's like, yeah, I trained before. Sure, I have.
How did you know like it was a gray and white belt? Like where did you get it?
They just gave it. They didn't have white belts.
Oh, they didn't
That's
have
just what
one.
they gave me. Just-
This was like 3 years ago.
Was it?
I was juvenile 3 years ago. Technically.
Your voice is loud.
But yeah, I started as a gray and white belt, gray and black, and then I skipped all the way to green belt. And I got my ass kicked. I was losing a lot.
So you're that good that you started at gray and white. They're like, fuck it, let's just give it to them.
They didn't question me.
It's like the fastest promoted from gray white to green.
You gotta be scared, dude. You gotta be scared of that. I mean, green belts these days are fucking.
They're
no
good.
joke,
He
bro.
started jiu-jitsu like 3 years ago. So
6 years ago.
Dude, you're gonna keep fucking throwing out numbers and confusing the shit out of me, and I already forget shit. It's gonna be very complicated for motherfucker. So the green belt level is a tough level, though.
I got fucked up a lot. I didn't win for a long time. I had like a newbie record. I think I was 1-6.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was bad.
and that was how long ago?
That was 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So I mean, but you got better at some point. You became the no-gi world champion, right?
Yeah, that was last year. That was 6 months into purple belt.
6 months into purple. You're a brown now, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I met the minimum IBJJF requirement and then I got my brown belt after that.
Do you feel like there was a difference between like your blue belt level and then your
Absolutely.
purple belt level? How was that?
Yeah, he can vouch for me. I got shocked when I went from blue to purple. I got fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think blue to purple is the second biggest difference on skill level after brown and black.
Yeah, I can agree with that, dude. Like, there's a big discrepancy. Like, when you get a freshly new blue belt and a freshly new purple, like when you go from blue to purple, that's like a big jump.
Big gap
That's
for
like
sure.
that's
yeah.
when you're like, that's the skill level is really noticeable.
Purple to brown was not as big, much smaller.
I also think it's because a lot of people at blue, that's when they quit.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you also have a lot of people at Blue who've been doing jiu-jitsu for like a year.
yeah,
And then they're jumping into competitions.
right.
So you have a lot of highlight reels.
Yeah.
Good for Instagram.
The filler.
You need those.
So those blue belt levels really build careers.
Actually, that's why we motivate those blue belts so they don't quit. We need
We
them as
need the highlight reels.
That's a good fucking strategy. If you
Yeah.
think about it, dude.
Well, now it doesn't matter because I'm a black belt.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah.
maybe you jump in as a blue belt, you just get a highlight reel. Fuck it. You could say it's an old video.
I mean, that's why we have no-gi.
Yeah.
That's why we're switching.
So that level at purple belt was I mean, I'm not gonna say it was shocking, but it was definitely a higher sense of athletic performance with the competitors.
For sure. There's a lot less filler there.
Yeah.
Like blue belt, you got a lot of filler, which is like the easy matches you highlight reel.
Right. And then you also have like the kids that are coming up from white to blue
Right.
that they're usually in that juvenile age group.
They've
that
been
are-
trained like 10 years plus.
But they're not in that
still blue
adult.
belts.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But they're not in that adult. You
That
know
was
what I
this
mean?
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, so did you have highlight reels of blue belts since you were at juvenile?
Yeah. I mean, I got promoted to purple belt right after I became an adult. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. So how long were you at blue belt?
Like 2 years.
Oh, but because of age.
Yeah.
Because you can get it at what, 16?
Yeah. I think it's the year you turn 16.
The year you turn 16.
Yeah.
And then you have to be 18 to be purple, right?
It's the year you turn 18.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that's why. So you were just fucking wrecking people at blue belt.
Pretty much.
How'd you get into it? How'd you get into jiu-jitsu?
I was like very socially awkward as a kid.
Yeah.
So I had trouble making friends.
Okay.
I liked social cues.
Yeah.
Still do.
I can hide it better.
Nothing's changed.
Now you can choke people. You're like, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't need them.
I tried multiple sports. I did like soccer. I did like a class of karate.
Yeah.
But like my fear of public speaking was like so high that I couldn't do it.
Because of karate, like you couldn't talk.
Well, like
speak.
at the very end of the class, I just remembered how like everybody like got on their knees and they started praying.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
No, you're fucking
I
with me.
swear.
Jiu-jitsu too. They do that too.
They started. I don't know where you've been.
He's doing it by himself in the corner. You just see him in the corner. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I think it's.
He's like, wait, aren't we supposed to? We're not doing this. Fucking. So you got the karate. You didn't want to do like. Did they make you speak?
Well, I didn't know this, but you don't start doing that till like I guess I get like way later on.
Oh, okay.
But it spooked me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're scared of public fucking speaking, bro.
I was like 8.
I'm 8 is like a good age to be scared of fucking public speaking. Like you have to talk in front of adults. It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So they don't know to this day why I didn't keep going. It's just
They don't know.
yeah, no,
He just it
No,
wasn't
they
the
do.
karate.
now they do.
And then you jumped into jiu-jitsu.
So I did boxing for a bit.
Oh, you both did boxing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common.
Yeah, I mean,
You suck at boxing, you do
You suck-
jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. You start off boxing.
You get hit in the head, you're like, not for me.
I was 8.
dude, but boxing at that, what age did you start boxing?
I was 13.
13. Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, like at that age, getting
Yeah.
punched in the face is a motherfucker.
Yeah, I think they just had me doing the bag, and that was
Yeah.
it was pretty boring.
No, I was sparring the
can be.
adults getting beat up. Not a fan. They would fuck me up.
Wait, so your parents just threw you into like a boxing gym?
They didn't know actually.
No?
I'd fake their signature. I'd go into class, do the free trial, and then I had them sign me up.
Shit, dude. In that first class, you're like, fucking too many.
They fucked me up. I'm like, all right, I'll try it for like a month, see how it goes. I'm like, not for me. I'll stick to grappling.
Yeah, bro. Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of getting punched in the face. Like, I respect people that do stand up, but you need your brain, bro.
It's fun, man. It
You
all
know what I
depends
mean?
on sparring partners.
You need
That's
muscle.
true.
Right?
That's true.
If people take care of you and you take care of them, it's good fun. It's good for you. But
Yeah.
once you get dickheads who are going spazzing out, trying to knock you out,
Which
not
happens
so
in jiu-jitsu
great.
too, bro. Sometimes you get people that would just want to fucking, like, if you're a lower belt, right? Because you guys are higher belts, I'm sure you guys can protect yourself a lot better against people that are.
Just don't roll with white belts.
don't roll with this guy.
Do you not roll with white belts?
No,
Not really.
not
Really?
really.
That's
Almost
like,
never.
Yeah, people don't really know this, but that's like the most common injury.
Yeah,
Really?
white belts are dangerous. Those are the most dangerous people to
most-
train with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard that before, and for me, it just doesn't make sense why. Like, I get they're spazzy, right? But like, what is it that makes them so dangerous? Is it that like they pull fucking guard?
They don't know how to control their own body weight.
The fight or flight.
That too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like they just go too hard.
Right. Like if you're rolling with one of us who are like higher level, it's very, very rare. I don't think I've ever injured anyone for like a long-term injury.
Yeah,
But you'll see his white belts train for a month or two who have multiple bodies under the record of people they just taken out of training for months.
Here's the thing though, is like when you go with white belts, you're supposed to smash them.
right.
If you like don't like if you like start taking it easy on them,
I see what you're saying.
that's when you get hurt.
I see what you're
Right.
saying.
That's when you get hurt.
Yeah, because
Think-
you're going like light on them.
Yeah, but it's a lose-lose. If you smash them really, really bad, you're not gonna see them again.
That's true. I mean, no, that's true. Like 9. What is it like? I don't know. I don't remember the percentage of dropout rate, but it was pretty high when it
It's
comes
high
to dropout.
for sure.
And it's probably that's the reason why is like they get. But dude, if you think about it, like, okay, so white belts against white belts, then is probably the most dangerous
Division,
fucking
absolutely.
ever.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you
don't-
watch
don't see that?
Masters white belts, it's a blast.
That's the first thing you can tell is like when you roll with somebody that's a white belt level just starting is that tense energy that's just fucking like all
Mhm.
like compact on your ass. Yeah, that's true. That white belt fights are fucking dangerous, man. Do you guys think that's something that should be like? How do you deal with white belts when they're fresh when it comes to rolling? What do you guys think about that? Because you're teaching, right, Martin?
Right, for sure.
And I'm assuming you have some white belts.
A lot, yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
You gotta try to explain to them. It's hard to get it through their head, but you gotta explain to relax and that they're not supposed to win every round.
Right.
They're supposed to lose most rounds.
Right.
I do a lot of specifics, a lot of like kind of like game style rounds where it's just very specific training. Like you lose this 1%, you reset back to it. I try to get it through their head that way.
Yeah.
But even then, it's hard.
Do you put them to do those games like the first day, or do you have like a plan for them to start doing it?
Yeah, I'll do it first day. Like for example, last week I was teaching armbar escapes, and our specific training was you start in an armbar with your hands unlocked.
Okay.
And then you're not allowed to submit your partner. You have to extend their arm, hold it out for 3 seconds without actually applying any pressure to break the arm. You just hold it out, and then their goal is to escape.
Damn, dude, that sounds, just because we were talking about the white belt stuff, it sounds fucking dangerous. It's having like a white belt just fully extended arm, but it makes sense.
You would be surprised because if you really explain it in depth and you show them examples, most of them will get it. And then I know the guys who are spasty, who can't control themselves. Those guys, I'm not allowing them to train like that.
Right.
I'll send with the other spasty ones.
It makes sense.
They can hurt each other, not the rest of us.
You're just making them fight each other.
Bet on it.
But it makes sense.
One of you.
That's where you start gambling. Like which white belt takes out which white belt first.
That's how you start dealing with one. You let them take themselves out.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. No, but I mean, it makes sense when you explain it. And I'm sure that when you explain it to them, it makes more sense. Like if you can't leave them up to their own devices.
Right. I don't call it I don't call it sparring. That's the big thing. I'm like, this is specific drilling. It's very specific. Like I try to emphasize that a lot. Like this is not a real round. There is no winning or losing. Your goal is to extend their arm. Their goal is to do the move I just taught to escape the armbar.
Right.
And if you're not able to, you hold it for 3 seconds. You restart. Try again. And if you're better than your partner, try to help them out. Try to explain to them what they did wrong so they can fix that.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I think it's a good way.
I think it's like also it's pretty common. It's like the typical bodybuilder that joins the sport. I feel like that's the issue.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, they're just like pure strength.
Yeah, like word it out.
Because I think it's like someone who has already like some experience on like with sports, they kind of already know how to move.
Yeah.
You know, like wrestling.
Yeah, like they know how to train.
Right.
Like I had somebody on that was a professional football player. Well, you guys know him, Lyle. I don't know if you guys know him from Ground Game Theory.
What's his name?
Lyle.
Right. Yes, for sure.
Lyle. So he used to play football.
I trained with him today.
So one of the things that he said was like a lot of the difference between when he became a white belt and when other people became a white belt is that he knew how to train, how to fall, how to move, how to treat your partners. Yeah. So that's a good point that you bring up when it comes to like what type of person's coming in. Like if you get that aggro person just going in to prove how tough they are, it's definitely going to be a fucking issue.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be an issue.
For sure.
And it takes time to bring that, I don't want to call it ego, but that, I guess that temperament down for them to come to realization and the state. But a lot of those people will leave.
No, yeah.
Right. A lot of times it's adrenaline. That's what they have is you got to bring their adrenaline down. Yeah. Once they stop being scared, they can start flowing and actually improving their game.
Yeah. That makes sense. So was it like that when you guys started training? Like, how was it when you were a white belt? Like, I'm sure you can remember, right? Like, how were those first days as a white belt?
Right. I was never a white belt. I was a gray and white belt.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
I feel like I've always done a good job being a good training partner. I was never like a spaz, but a lot of like the kids my age that were training with me at the time were.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any real injuries, but a lot of times I leave the training room like, fuck, that shit hurt. Like that was a douchebag move.
Yeah. I mean, I would feel like it's different when you start as a kid in the kid level.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the kids are there because their parents put them in the sport, which is great, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's few and far between the ones that actually go not because they're pushed to go from their parents, but they actually want to go and train and get better. You know what I mean? Was that like that for you? Did your parents have to like?
No, I begged them to put me in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to learn how to fight. I lost like a street fight as a kid. And I was like, all right, I need to get this on point. This is important.
And you just started showing up from there. Like you would tell your parents, like, I want to go. I'm assuming that's how it was for you too.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot of kids. Like I have my kids and they have different personalities, right? Like I have the two ones, like the small ones you met. I have two older ones, and one of them enjoys it, and the other one doesn't really like it that much. So I try not to force them into it because I feel like that's gonna get them injured.
No, that's good. I taught a lot of kids classes, and it doesn't matter how talented the kid is. If they don't want to be there, they're never gonna reach that full potential they have.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, they just won't do what they don't want to do.
Exactly.
I mean? Yeah. So I think it's better if that kid usually that wants to go into jiu-jitsu will stay longer. But I've heard this, and let me know if you guys agree with this, that there's people, let's say you start as a kid, right? When you get into those teenage years, like 15, 16 or whatever, there's like a dropout. Like people don't want to do it anymore. Did you guys
absolutely
go through that?
Yeah, the thing I've always heard was from my coach Kevin Mahecha was always, if a kid's gonna stay if they get their first girlfriend and their first scar and they're still training.
That's a good way to fucking.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, of course. Like, because once they get their girlfriend, their first girlfriend, bro,
they're gone.
Fucking
they're
out of
there,
it, dude. Like, I don't give a
They
fuck.
realize there's more to life.
So you stayed in. You started competing at the level that you're at. You started competing as a child. When you got into that first competition and that first environment, was it something that you're like, I'm gonna stick to this, or was it something that you're like, fuck, this is hard? I don't know.
My thing was I wanted to win. I lost. I had my whole family there. They all saw me get submitted. I'm like, okay, no, I have to win. I can't leave here on an L. I have to win.
I never wanted to do it again.
Yeah, really, dude. But that makes sense at that age. Like the kids that, dude, can you imagine losing in front of your fucking family at a young age?
I just wanted a Naga sword.
What?
I just wanted a Naga sword.
I just wanted to brag. I wanted to go
wanted
back
a
to my boys
sword.
like, listen, I can fight. Check me out.
Too bad the Naga sword is fucking awesome. Like
Yeah.
for kids to have, like, but also fucking dangerous. You're giving kids fucking swords.
Yeah.
What did you ever get one? Did you guys ever get one?
I
of those?
never did a Naga,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I got like too many.
How many you have?
Dude, were they sharp or were they like legit swords?
I was able to. I cut on some fruit.
But-
Sharp enough.
Is that all you cut?
Jesus, dude. So they are sharp. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. But so the first one that you did, you don't want to keep competing.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to do it anymore.
So what got you back to competing?
The thing is, I remember I pulled guard and I landed on my head.
Oh fuck, dude.
So you don't pull guard.
And then I remember the kid like grabbing both of my collars and just like lifting me up from.
So he
closer.
fucking slammed you.
Yeah, pretty much. I just remember banging the back of my head, and I had the
Jesus.
biggest headache after. And I was like, I don't want to do this.
So it wasn't about losing; it was about you fucking got trauma. It's fucking crazy,
It was
dude.
4 minutes of trauma. Oh, also, like I was supposed to be registered in like the novice division. I had like 2 months in jiu-jitsu, and my mom, she thought it was like beginner. It's in the name.
Yeah, but that's fucking true, bro.
That's a good point.
She put me in the beginner division, which is like 6 months and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got fucking slammed on your head.
Yeah, the worst part is like the person I looked up to like that day, like he was like my training partner. He got smoked.
It's like, damn, we all suck.
So when I saw that, I was like,
I'm fucking out.
I'm done. But it wasn't even. I just got slammed.
So you guys started competing with losses under your belt,
Yeah, a lot of them.
and you wanted to come back and compete because of the
I wanted
loss.
to win. I'm like, I can't leave out here just losing. I need to beat these guys. I need to get them back.
Right, and that was when you were when you got your gray and white belt.
I was a green belt my first competition. I was like 6 months into
Oh,
training. I just
shit.
got my green belt. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Dude, you went from gray to white. Oh, because you started in middle school. You went from gray to white to green.
I went gray and white, gray and black, and then green.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
'cause I was 15 by the time I got a green
Wait,
belt.
hold on. So let me make sure I can understand what you're saying. So you got a gray and white belt. 6 months later is when you competed for the first time.
Yeah, as a green belt.
So they were giving you fucking belts every week. Like, what the hell the fuck did that work?
Basically, I got my first belt like a month in. Next
Yeah.
belt like a couple months in, and then
I think this guy was doing karate.
Dude, I think he showed up to a
That's
place
what
and he's like, I'm a green belt, fuck it.
the first gym I was at, I felt like that because they were really giving belts away. Like I saw a 14-year-old once get a blue belt. this
It's
I
not
went down.
helping your case.
The coach called him up. He's like, "All right, come up here." He had a green belt ready,
Yeah.
and the guy was already wearing a green belt. And then he was like, "Oh man, we wanted to give him a blue belt, but we didn't realize he's 14. It's not allowed." But then the kid looked like he was about to cry. And
Yeah.
the guy felt bad, so he was like, "All right, we'll give him a blue belt anyways." Kid quit, never came back.
Dude, fucking, I mean, that's blue belt. Sorry,
I
but
saw him at school. He's like, "Jesus, too easy."
you just gotta cry a little bit and they give you the fucking belt, bro. It's fucking good. So you started, but I'm assuming you left that gym, right? You're with the Machechas now?
Yeah.
So is
I
that-
was always training under the Mahechas. They were teaching there, but then we left
Oh.
that gym and transitioned over to Outer Heaven now.
Oh, okay. So you went to Outer Heaven, and that's when you got your blue and your purple, right?
I got my purple belt there. I got my purple belt at the older gym, but under the Mahechas.
Oh, okay. So
See,
yeah.
that one took a minute, you know. 'cause
I can
The purple belt took him.
Yeah, they weren't the ones giving out the monthly ones.
Yeah, no, not them.
The monthly
they went
statements.
to an actual jiu-jitsu.
I was a blue belt for a long time, 2.5 years, almost 3.
Is that a long time? Like, how old were you?
I got my blue belt when I was, I think, just turned 16. I got my purple belt around 18. But
I mean, I guess if you think about it, but how are you doing as a purple? As a blue
I
belt?
was doing great. I was
Yeah?
winning a lot. I never won any of the majors at blue belt, but I got second at Panoms back-to-back years, and I placed at
good.
Worlds every time.
Adult, right?
But I was always falling in the finals.
Oh,
That was my thing at blue belt.
the mental thing.
Craig Jones.
A good
Yeah,
silver
fucking B
medalist.
teamed it. I mean, that's a good. I mean, that's around the time that you should have been at blue belt. But if you were doing well, and those were adult division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge division.
Yeah.
The blue
No,
belt.
I always felt like adult was the skill level per athlete was lower, but you had so many more matches
It's a good
that
way
it
to put it.
kind of balanced out.
Yeah, that's a good way to
You
put
do
it.
have like a lot of fillers at blue belt, but like once you get to like the semis and the finals, you're gonna have like those studs.
Exactly.
And once they go to purple belt, they could win that too.
Right.
Or brown belt.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Because you do have a lot of people that are going in, and a lot of those people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking win pans," and they've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And you got people in your.
I love
bracket
those
where-
guys. Those are my favorite. I love it.
And then you go into the fucking semifinals, and those are the killers.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
really, your tournament starts when you're at adult level at
Someti-
semi.
Right.
Sometimes the quarters.
Yeah, at the quarters
Yeah, 'cause
where
it
it
could be
really
random,
starts.
right?
Sometimes you could get that guy on the quarters.
Do they put it based off ranking, like the brackets?
Their ranking sucks though.
Yeah, you never want to go based off the rankings to determine who's like. It's pretty much pay to win.
Okay.
Exactly.
You sign up, you win an open with 2 people. Default medal.
Oh,
You know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then
And
you
that
just-
goes for all the opens.
Yeah, all the opens.
They
So you
do
just have
have
to-
they do have the majors, which are worth more points.
Yeah,
So if
makes
you do
sense.
win worlds, you kind of get like you skip all the way to the top. But you'll see a lot of the top 5 guys. They're not good, but they just compete every weekend in a different tournament, so they rack up a bunch of points for silver medals.
Oh, so
Yeah.
but do they do it? Do they set up the brackets with those point systems
Yes.
that they have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's to motivate people to keep competing.
Yeah.
Pay more money. IBJJF,
Pay more.
the biggest
I mean, that's
scam
a
in
big
jiu-jitsu.
dude. That's a big issue right now. Is the
We won't pay you, but you get points.
and you can turn those points into buku bucks, and then we'll trade you in. No, but that's a big issue, and that's a lot of people have spoken about. Obviously the IBJJF is the governing body when it comes to the biggest governing body, right? I guess
Right.
ADCC you could say is now coming up on that.
But that's the highest of levels.
But the thing
Right.
is,
IBJJF is for everything else.
in the gi, it's pretty much a monopoly if you think
It
about
is.
That's what I was
So
getting
they
to.
got no competitors.
Right,
you know?
right.
AJP a little bit, kind of, almost.
Yeah, but what you're saying is true. Like they've gotten to the size of it's kind of like a monopoly, especially in the gi.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah.
sure. It's definitely they have no competitors because ADCC is no gi, right? AGP, which is it's not as big, and I don't think they do have that many opens as
No, not as much.
No.
so it's definitely one sided. So it sucks that that's how it's going. It's like you have to pay. You pay what? You pay the membership. You pay the monthly. You pay the membership. You pay for tournaments,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
and then you don't get any of that.
You never
much
get
back.
paid back. That's why.
I mean,
that's a big reason.
even if you argue, like, let's say you're arguing, okay, they need that money to set up the tournament, right? So their tournaments or whatever, or the mats or whatever. How much of that is really? I'd be interested to see like what their profit is after everything.
It's huge.
Like
That's what it is. It's huge.
it's probably a huge
Yeah.
profit, and it'd be interesting to see just how they could give back to the athletes because they're really.
Right. They
the one
could
putting
pay.
the money in the wallet.
They absolutely could pay at least black belt level.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Absolutely, they could.
Like you're gonna play a white belt world champion
No,
that's been doing
no.
it.
No,
The thing is, they don't have to.
they don't. They don't have
They
to.
don't have
exactly.
They don't have to.
They're already
Yeah.
making so much money.
Look at Mo now, like at ADCC.
Right.
Now he has to.
Yeah.
Because there's a competitor.
Right. No, they don't have to. That's
We need more of that in the gi.
we would like for them to do that. You know what I
Right.
mean? As for the athletes, I don't compete, but like you guys athletes, it would be good for you guys that are competing around the circuit, the IBJJ circuit, get some sort of compensation for the training that you guys do. And so you guys are training, your diet. I'm sure you guys have like some strength and conditioning, and then you have to find a way to make a living. So teaching or whatever, it's hard to make your ends meet. And you're doing it for these competitions. You're doing it, maybe to help your school out, whatever the case may be. But you're doing it for an honorable purpose. A little bit of money back to the athletes isn't going to hurt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be a little bit, really. You know what I mean? Especially
it's a
the
start.
majors.
It's a start at
To
least.
start, yeah.
Yeah, give them something. I'm
Right.
on top of I agree with that 100%. And I could say that because I don't compete. And what are they going to do? Like, oh, fuck you, you fucking asshole.
I do think it'll make it a lot more competitive too.
For
And
sure.
more people
There-
will come in.
There are a lot of black belts like boycotting.
Yeah.
The IBJJF.
That's what I'm
think
doing
it
now.
should.
I stopped doing gi. I don't train any gi anymore.
I think that there's something has to be done in order to get these athletes compensated. And they did it with ADCC.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Craig Jones is doing a great thing. I would hopefully he's able to keep it up.
That
You know
was
what I mean?
awesome.
I think
I
so.
loved it.
And other tournaments come in and do the same thing. That'd
Yeah.
be fucking great, bro.
I think there's a lot of tournaments in no-gi pay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I do no-gi. I get paid to do no-gi.
Right.
I've never gotten paid to do gi.
Yeah, I mean, but also like is I don't know this answer to this question. Maybe you guys do. How is the spectator point of view when it comes to the gi? You know, is it easier for? Because I read this book, and this could be all bullshit. I read this book called Choke that even the Gracies like took off their gis to make it more simple for people to understand. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
Because I think that the gi, I like the gi. Like I like to watch the gi. I like training in no gi more, but I like to watch the gi because I kind of understand what's going on. Obviously, if you go to this high levels that you guys are at, you're probably doing shit that I'm not even with. I don't even know what's going on. But for me, at least it makes a little bit of sense. But if you get somebody you're trying to bring eyes to the sport, it's harder to do it with the gi.
You know what I think it is? I think advantages confuses people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think the gi in general is always going to be complicated.
Yeah.
Like for like someone who doesn't know.
But that also makes it interesting.
Yeah, but I think like AJP, it's like everything is points.
Okay.
Right. You get a penalty, that's a point.
Right.
You get an advantage, that's a point. So then when someone's like looking at the score, they're not like having to keep track of like advantages, points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good, man. I think that's a good point because if you have 2-point systems on the board, it makes it overly complicated when it comes to that type of stuff. Right. And also, I think that the gi has. Because I'm sure you've gone through this, or you've gone through this when you were competing in gi, that there's stalling too.
A lot.
Oh, there's a lot of stalling. So another thing is, what I like about AJP is the matches are shorter. Right, they're 5 minutes, so it makes things a little more interesting.
Right, requires you to pick up the pace.
Yeah, you have to pick up the pace.
Right,
because it's like it goes by fast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've gone through that too, man. Like they wait for the last second to they get you in 50-50 or whatever.
They stay there. They feed the lapel. They stick around. No, that was another big reason I quit the gi. Just I was sick of getting stalled down matches.
How frustrating was it for like? Did you come to this point that you were like you made this decision? You were like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And what was the reason for you switching over?
Mostly it was money. There's just so much more money in no gi.
Yeah, opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. In the gi, I've never been paid to compete in the gi ever.
I mean, who's paying? Like, is there any competitions that are paying people in the
AJP? They pay black belts.
Yeah,
okay.
They have like some tournaments where like they'll pay.
That's right.
They pay a good amount, like
1,000, 5,000 for the winner or something. Like
$3K.
That's not bad.
Yeah, for black belt.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Right, but you're working your whole life to get to that black belt level. You go compete, you don't win, you get second, you get third or whatever, and you get $3K after spending your whole life working up to that.
Yeah.
That's what the gi gives you.
Yeah.
Dude, but I mean, and I think that until recently, that was also an issue in no gi.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But
like,
it's changing now.
Like 10K to reach the highest of level, which is really hard to get to.
That was insane.
Dude,
I can't believe that was a thing.
Is a motherfucker to get. Like, they were, the trials are 2 or 3 days. Mm-hmm. You have to compete 5 fights those 2 days.
Yeah.
And then if you win, you get 10K. Like, how many? Dude, that's
no money to show. It was.
And what's fucked up is that they went, okay, listen, we're gonna pay you 10K, which is what they were paying the athletes, I think, since the beginning of ADCC.
Right,
which
they never
I could
raised
be wrong,
it.
Right?
It was always 10K.
And then that the sport is expanding, right? Because of the way that the production value, all that stuff, all that money that they're wasting.
Right, they're spending millions to upgrade the production, but not giving the athletes any cash.
And then you can just say, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna expand this, and we're gonna bring it to a larger location, and the athletes are still getting 10K. That's the like, even if you account for inflation from when ADCC started, there should have been some sort of upgrade in pay.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they're not. Are they paying for your like flight and shit?
I'm not sure. I think they are if you're a big name. If you're one of the smaller guys, probably not.
Like if you won trials, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not an invite, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's fucked. I mean, I think that if you're making profit off a show like CJI did.
Now they have some show money starting the last AT. I think it was $2,500, which is still not a lot. Yeah. It's not a lot of money, but it's better than nothing.
But they did that because CJI came
Because
on.
of CJI. Yeah, so now you see Mo talking about how next ACC they're gonna pay athletes more money, smaller production. You're like wondering, like, oh, why did he do that?
Yeah.
Take a guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. I think it's good, man.
That's why the IBJJF is until you have like a solid competitor, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, because a lot of people are leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It sucks. The gi's dying. It sucks. Like the gi's great, but unfortunately, nobody's starting competitions to match up IBJJF.
I think the IBJJF is trying to come up with this tournament as like the Grand Prix or some shit.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. I think.
Well, they should have invited this guy at the Crown.
Yeah, it's the Crown. That's what it's called. The Crown. Yeah. They're doing the Crown. I saw but bro, they brought in the Rotolo brothers, which are exciting fighters. But other than that, I know
what you're talking about, the Grand Prix. Like
the featherweight was insane that they didn't invite this guy. He has a win over the current.
They didn't
world
invite
champion.
you to the.
It's funny, like the Crown, the one who won last year.
Yeah.
I took him out at Worlds.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
right. The former world champion at black belt, he took him out, and they still didn't invite this guy.
We gotta go talk shit then. Is that what we're doing? Did you guys want to fucking take over so we can talk shit about that?
Absolutely. Fuck the IBJJF.
We're gonna
Fuck
start
the
talking
crown.
shit. That's what we're
Well,
doing.
Here's the thing. I was gonna do World Pro
Yeah.
with AJP regardless.
Oh
which is like
shit.
similar weekend. So
Oh, okay, so then you're like, fuck it.
yeah, it don't matter.
But isn't everybody gonna go to AJP in that case?
Mostly.
Mostly, yeah.
And how do you feel about competing when you compare those two? Like for both of you guys, how do you feel?
I feel like as a spectator, I think AJP is way more exciting.
Yeah.
As a spectator,
Because of
you
what
know,
you're
as a
saying.
competitor, I would prefer the IBJJF because matches are longer. You know,
Mm.
people typically tend to like start folding after 5 minutes.
Oh, because your game is you like to break them down.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes is it's hard to. People usually start off real strong the first 3 minutes.
So there's like, I mean, if you think about it in terms of perspective of a spectator, you would prefer the shorter matches.
100%.
But as a competitor,
You prefer the longer.
yeah. I don't know. I get tired after 2
Definitely.
minutes, so it doesn't matter where
So-
the fuck you put me.
The thing is, when I fought Samuel Nagai at
Mm.
Worlds, my first attack didn't happen after my successful attack didn't happen after 5 minutes.
And you expected that.
I expected that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna go for anything that serious after the 5th minute mark
Okay.
because
So
I started feeling like his body like wearing down a bit.
that brings me to like my next question for both of you guys. Do you guys plan out, like when you get a bracket, do you guys plan out your game for the specific competitors?
I don't.
It depends.
You know?
Who I'm fighting.
Yeah.
The majority of people I'll fight, it'll be like, I don't have to. Doesn't matter. But if there's like a big name in there who I know already who's very talented,
Yeah.
I'll try a game plan around that.
So you don't. So do you do it like thinking like what you're gonna apply to him or what you need to defend against?
What I apply. I don't really think too much of what I'm gonna defend.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this guy.
My game is always just I'm gonna get on top of them. I'm gonna gas them out. When they get gassed, I'm gonna pass them, take their back, and submit them.
Yeah. And you like pressure passing a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you like the body locks. I was watching you. I was prepping for it. I didn't prep for you, bro. So if I don't have any fucking cool questions, it's not my fault you jumped on me. So like I was prepping for you today, and I saw that you like to do a lot of body lock type of work.
Right. So the last 6 or 8 months, I've been training under AJ Souza,
Okay.
who's the most talented pressure passer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've been trying to just regurgitate all the stuff he shows me. So my game really changed from being a bottom leg lock guy to just being a wrestler on top and just pressure passer.
Dude, yeah, you started wrestling. I don't want to say like a year ago. You started wrestling. Is that right?
I mean, I've wrestled before that, but I was never good at it.
But you started you went to like a club and shit.
I've done wrestling competitions. I've done one actually, but I didn't train for that. I just showed up. I put on my wrestling shoes. I borrowed someone's singlet. I just did exhibition
You borrowed
matches.
someone's singlet.
Yeah.
That's brave,
It was
bro.
a side quest.
It was a side quest. It was fun. I had 3 exhibition matches. I pinned all of them. I was just doing jiu-jitsu on them. I just do arm drag, double leg. I'd put the hooks on the back, half Nelson, pinned them down, and that's all I did every match.
What type of wrestling was it? Like what type of?
I don't even know. I wouldn't even be able to tell
You're
you.
like fucking is in a Greco-Roman just doing illegal shit.
I'm like, I got to take them down. I got to pin them. All right, got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's probably helped your game because from what I saw, like you either go into guard and you go into leg locks, or if the guy's on his back, you're pressure passing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my guard now is just wrestling up. I don't have a great guard. I just have
Really?
leg lock attacks, and I have attacks from side control. I have reversals, and I have wrestle ups.
So you're saying you're not good at retaining guard. Is that what
I
you're
don't
saying?
try to retain
He
guard.
just stands up.
I just stand up. If I'm on bottom, I'm just doing reversals. I'll let them get very deep into passes just to start wrestling from there, creating scrambles.
Is there a reason why you do it that way?
I'm just lazy. I've gotten bigger. I've gotten a lot fatter, and I've gotten lazier.
I would say passing is a lot tiring than playing guard.
Depends how you're passing.
I think
I don't outside pass. I'm smashing. I'm laying. I'm laying.
Yeah, if
I'm
you're
praying.
if you're doing like outside
That's a good
passing,
point. That's a good
Yeah.
if you're doing like not pressure passing, that's a motherfucker, bro. But I'm lazy. I don't like to do the the standing passing because I get fucking tired, bro.
I'm
get
the same
tired
way.
quick.
I don't have good cardio. My cardio sucks. So even though my cardio sucks, I tire my opponents out most of the times.
Yeah.
I'll walk into their outside del hivas or I'll walk into their half guard. I'm just smashing from top, waiting for them to make one mistake and then I capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean that's that. I think that you waste more energy trying to do the outside passing, but sometimes it's necessary, man. Maybe
It's
having a
good to mix
finish-
it up. I like
right.
to use the outside passing to get into my pressure positions when it's a talented guy, when they have a good guard.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram that you guys are actually both you guys are doing like a team event, right?
Right. It's me, Seb, and AJ Souza. We're doing a 3v3 tournament at the CSC Grappling.
Did you guys do that before together?
I've done it before, but I was with the Team Alpha guys. I was with Andre Porfirio and Michael Sainz.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then I got carried through that tournament, actually. I had one match, and then they smoked everyone else. I didn't even have to fight.
How's that work? And are you guys like when is it? First of all,
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So you guys are prepping for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 crazy things are happening. AJ's coming back,
Okay.
and this is my first no-gi comp since blue belt.
Fuck, dude. And that's on Flow Grappling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
awesome.
glad. All eyes are on everyone except me.
But how are you guys prepping for that? How is the rule set for it? Because I think it was like, is it like if you take one guy out, you stay?
No, that's a quintet style. This one is
Okay.
at the first we'll send our team captain Seb over here.
Okay.
We'll go play rock paper scissors.
Okay.
Whoever loses has to send their guy
How's
out
your rock paper
first.
scissors?
We've been practicing. Watch this. Watch
I've
this.
been winning. I think I should be team captain.
Okay.
We'll
You
see.
got to do it.
Rock paper scissors shoot.
I hope this is for the
We're
rest
good.
of the podcast, bro.
Ah.
Dude,
You see what I'm saying?
dude, that was like contingent. It was. So you do rock paper scissors, and then you pick the person that's gonna.
So the
come out?
loser sends their guy out first for the entire round.
So they get to pick who goes out first.
And then we get to see who they send, and we send whoever we want
Oh
afterwards.
yeah, that's.
But
much
if we
better.
lose, we have to send our guy first.
Okay.
And it'll be 6 minutes submission only, and then 2 minutes wrestling overtime.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the wrestling overtime idea.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a good way. You're not a wrestler?
I can't say that.
He's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, I like that idea because I think it requires a point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No,
You
I
gotta
like
get a
the
point.
wrestling overtime as well. But that's because I like to wrestle.
At the very end, there's a ref's decision.
Is there?
That's what he
Like
likes.
if you don't get a takedown, it's a ref decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I've competed them for many times. I've done super fights there. I'm undefeated there. I think I'm 6-0 over there.
Yeah.
5 out of 6 submissions. And last time
God damn.
I like the CSC guys. They're good. They pay.
I've been watching it, dude. I've seen the team ones before. I think it was one that was in Texas. The last one they had
Mhm.
was in Texas. It's pretty good, man. I like the idea. I like the idea of team, like competition. I would like one that's like you stay if you beat the guy.
I was in a quintet
quintet,
tournament style. I think it was last weekend. I love
You
the
were?
quintet. Yeah.
Where?
In Atlanta.
What the fuck? What was it called? I didn't find
It
it.
was the Atlanta Odyssey Invitational. It was a great event, actually. It was one of the best events I've been to. The quintet style is super entertaining for the spectators.
Uh-huh.
And they did a great job just setting up everyone to have a good time. They had free beer. They had food. It was
For the
amazing.
competitors?
For everyone. It was sponsored by Heineken.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I love that event.
Well, is that why you like the event, or is there like as a
No, it
competitor?
was generally they had great super fights. And
Okay.
then just I love the quintet style. I think quintet is the most entertaining rule set for
I think
jiu-jitsu.
it's super entertaining.
Because even if you have two guys stalling, you just know like
The
what's
strategy.
going on with the two teams.
Mhm.
So that adds to pressure. So even then it's entertaining. Like, can this guy stall out and not get submitted?
Are you guys strategizing like that too
For the
for the 1 in 2 weeks?
A little
Oh wait,
bit.
but you don't have to because you kind of do because if you lose, you have to send out your guy first.
We're mostly thinking like matchups.
Well,
Who
if
we
you
want our
lose the-
matchups to
If you
be.
lose the rock paper scissors,
You know, well, you guys
He's
better
planning
fucking
on
have-
not losing, even though he just
That's
lost
part
right
of your
here.
training at this point, motherfucker. You got to be like fucking.
That's how, we don't drill. We just do rock paper scissors before.
that's
So
all.
that-
That's all I plan on doing.
Yeah, Martin, go. You go.
Or AJ, yeah.
That's a good. You guys got a good team.
No, it's stacked, man. I don't know if you know about AJ Sosa, but that guy, he's gonna take anyone out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good
Right.
team. You're gonna send him out first the whole time.
No. We're sending this guy out to wrestle.
Yeah, rest. There you
We
go.
start off strong.
Man, that's gonna be a good one, dude. Like I think it's gonna be a good event.
It'll be cool. They always host them at a brewery too, so which I always enjoy.
Is it gonna be at the Lincoln one? Where did you do the last
I
one?
have no idea which one it's gonna be. They're changing it up though.
It's like, yeah,
It used to be at Unbranded. They're going somewhere else now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That should be a fun
I
event.
think
Man.
like somewhere in Homestead.
Oh, is it the? That's not gonna be like the Schneebly one. That's Miami Brewery.
I think so.
It might be actually.
That's a good
the
spot,
Miami
bro.
Brewing Corp.
I think so.
I think it might be there. Yeah.
That's next to the winery.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so.
Dude, that place is huge. Like that's gonna be a good place to have an event.
That's
Right,
nice.
It's gonna be it's gonna be cage matches as well.
Oh, really?
Which I've never actually done a cage match. I've done I have done one, but the cage was not involved in the match at all. I just took the guy down and smashed him.
Oh,
By the way,
okay. So like you didn't use the cage.
No,
to-
no. It'll be fun though. I like cage wrestling.
Do you switch it up like that when you guys know there's gonna be a cage when you're gonna train?
I
you
used to
guys
do a
train?
lot of MMA training before, so
Oh.
I have experience with the cage wrestling. But when we're trained, no, we stay away from the wall. Except this guy, he loves to use the wall.
I use the wall.
You should probably use the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's good. You can rest on the guy. It's probably easier to get takedowns too, right?
I plan on staying away from the wall.
Why?
It's boring. I think the wall's boring. I think the pit, for
It
example,
can be, dude. It can be boring. Like if you're
think
just resting on the dude.
the pit's a lot more exciting than the wall. 'Cause
Yeah.
just objectively speaking, the wall, there's less stuff you can do. Is technically you need less technique for the wall.
Right. No, but it's a good point that you say the pit, the way that they have that slant, it makes it a lot more interesting for grappling at least.
Right, like at the karate combat just yesterday, it was like we saw some crazy subs from there.
Dude, I was catching up on the UFC one. I haven't got into the Wagner Rocha one. Have you?
Wow.
How was it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Wagner fucked that guy.
Like I
up.
saw clips
Wagner
of it.
smashed
Did
that
you,
guy.
did you hear the story behind it? Like,
I don't know the story, but I know that the guy pushed him or whatever.
yeah, it was like a lot of trash talking.
I
it
hated
was?
that video. I saw the guy push Wagner and then shaked his hands after. I'm like, if you're gonna push someone, commit. Don't shake his hand after. You either shake hands or you push. You can't do both.
Yeah, I just saw the push and the handshake and that part, and then I saw like clips of Wagner like dominating the fight, but I want to know if it was like from start to finish.
No, the
I
whole
haven't seen
time it was very one-sided. Wagner smashed the guy, embarrassed him. It was
Apparently,
bad.
the guy gasped before the match even started.
He made a lot of excuses after.
How do you gas before?
That's what I'm saying.
Something about Utah.
The backstory is the best part because that guy submitted Wagner's son when Wagner's son was like 15 years old. He
Yeah,
was
but Wagner's a kid. Son is still a kid.
He was a kid, man, and he's kept bragging about it. I'm like, all right, that was fun to see. Like dad beat up, defending the son.
Yeah, he looked like in some of the clips. It was like he was. I thought it was for a second. I thought it was combat jiu-jitsu because he was like faking the smacks. I'm like, oh, this poor guy, bro. It's gonna be a bad
It was fun because Wagner for like very early on had an armbar, and I was wondering like why did he let go? Why didn't he finish his armbar? And then later on he went. I predicted I was gonna smash him the whole time and then armbar him at the end. So he like let go of the armbar, kept smashing him, and then armbarred him last 20 seconds.
Jesus, that's gangster.
That was a gangster.
Yeah.
Respect.
Wagner's still killing it, bro. At the age that he has it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. To see that. I mean, you can't really do that in other sports like boxing or MMA or shit. You can't be like that.
I think in MMA you can do that. We have some
Really?
older MMA guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Like Glover Teixeira. How old was he when he won the title?
Yeah, but that's the anomaly. It's not really the
That's true.
norm. You know what
But
I mean?
I feel like, for example, MMA is a sport where people peak later on in their 30s
Like, yeah.
rather than their 20s, like most
Like-
team sports.
Oh, you mean like kind of like football,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Like,
soccer too?
hmm
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of younger guys. Where in
Could
MMA,
it be that
you
they
get
start later too?
that as well? That
Right.
could be a big
I
point.
just think maybe it's like a one-on-one kind of thing.
What do you mean?
Like in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Right. Like you see Wagner. You know, he's like at the age he is, he's still performing at a high level.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's
We have
like,
a lot of those guys.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of those guys, but it's like not. It's like you're not involved in like a team.
And you think that has to do with the like that helps you stay longer in the sport?
I don't know. There's a correlation to that.
I think it might be a big part where
Yeah, it could
jiu-jitsu
be.
is not as big of a sport, so we don't have as many talented athletes doing jiu-jitsu compared to football or basketball. Like
Yeah.
all the best athletes are going to those
Wait, are you
sports.
fucking telling me you wouldn't be good at football too, bro?
Not-
I'd be
not-
terrible.
not-
I'm terrible at sports. I suck at all of them. That's why I do jiu-jitsu. If I could have played football, I would have played football. I just do what I'm good at.
We just took all the autism.
All the autism without the steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have it, you might as well do jiu-jitsu, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think at the team sport thing is I think that maybe they do it. I mean, it also depends on the sport because then you have baseball. Like these people are old as shit,
Right.
Yeah, that too.
but they're not doing
that's a
anything.
sport
really.
that's not as athletic as the rest of
Exactly.
them. Yeah.
But if you do football, they're playing it since they're young, bro. They're getting
Yeah.
fucked up. you
Right.
know what
But
I mean?
I think in martial arts in general, especially jiu-jitsu, you don't need to be like you can be athleticism with a lot of technique.
Mm.
If you can out technique someone,
Yeah.
the athleticism doesn't matter.
Is that the goal for you guys? Like to be able to obviously to train your whole life, but like I guess what I was getting at with my question is like how do you stay injury free throughout the year? Like,
I want to know that too.
Yeah.
You guys are with a bunch of injuries.
So
what do you do?
He's probably worse off.
So what's the recovery?
I don't know
like?
how this guy's working.
Like how do you do? Okay, so I shouldn't ask you what you do for recovery.
I don't recover now. I never.
He wakes up in the morning. He's like, I think I broke my back.
No, like you're supposed to go. Like the weekend's supposed to be recovery. I go party. I
You know
don't
what he does?
recover.
He's like, Sebastian, I think I broke my back. He's like, can we do back specifics?
Hey, back specific is very
Dude, you guys
unlikely
are
to get injured in.
You guys are going literally against what you guys said that you can be
See,
there for longer.
I took that.
Other people, not me.
I took his advice. So like my ankles are shattered. So I just do leg lock specifics when I'm hurt.
Right, we don't tap to ankle locks.
Jesus.
We tap to heel hooks, toe holds, but not ankle locks.
But did you guys like? Let's say, did your injury start now when you're at a higher level, or was it since?
No, I've always been very injury prone. Even when I was 16, I'd hurt a rib, I hurt a knee. I was always very injury prone.
Shit.
I've never broken a bone, but I would say like all my injuries like this past year, yeah, it's probably
Yeah, he's actually just recently became very injury prone.
Yeah. I'm like
Fuck.
probably the second.
It's just because
It's
we're
the gi, bro. The
we're-
gi, bro, the gi is like
that's what I'm saying. When I'm doing no gi, I don't get hurt nearly as much.
no, but like I'm not a competitor, but when I do gi at Daniel Paris like once or twice a week, and then I'll do no gi with the ground gear theory guys. Like a gi session on my body feels more like I'm more sore after it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's why I stopped it. That was the like last. That was the last thing that told me like never do gi again. I did a gi train session like a couple weeks ago, and I was out for a whole week after because I hurt my lower back. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, because
I'm
they're
not even
pulling,
gonna
bro.
try.
Like they're pulling on you all that shit. Like,
Right.
it's
I had
sore, bro.
qualified for the Grand Slam, a brown belt
Mm.
over in Dallas. They were gonna fly me out over there.
Shit.
But then I was like, okay, I'll get ready. I did one gi session. I was like, no way.
Wait. So you canceled it because you're like, fuck this.
I got hurt right away. Like
Oh,
within
but,
the
like,
first train
injured.
session, my lower back was just fucked up, and like I was out for a whole week. I couldn't train. It was just barely specifics the week after. I was like, all right, I'm out.
Here's another thing. AJP did remove like prize for the brown
I
belts.
yes, if they would have given me if
okay,
they would have
okay,
paid
okay,
me, I
okay.
would have fought through it. I don't
If you
care.
want to know
But
the real reason.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, so you got a little bit of injury, but you said you got really badly injured.
No, yeah. He was
I had
Okay,
very
okay.
bad lower back issues for a while now, and it just re-flared up when I did gi. But if they were paying, I would have done it anyways.
side hustles.
Yeah.
But when they did both, I'm like,
Side
I'm out.
quest.
The side quest will do that to
Is
you.
that's what gave you injury? Your side hustles. The OnlyFans, right?
Yes.
If you want to do IBJJF,
You gotta pay the bill somehow. It's not gonna be IBJJF.
and those reg fees aren't getting cheaper.
Someone's gotta pay for them.
You saw the Pan Am's Nogi Pants registration.
No, what
It
happened?
was like $172.99.
I was like, all right, I need to find a way.
But that's one of the reasons that I don't compete. Like hobbyists, like we're not making any money out of this motherfucking like competing. Like we're not building a brand. We're not doing anything. We have to pay like 170 fucking bucks to compete.
Neither are
for that money.
IBJJF
I mean-
black belts.
I
Which
mean,
they
They're
should
not
be.
making any money either.
I mean, you'd be surprised. Like, there's people out there that just want that empty division, gold medal, sign up.
That's ridiculous.
We're
dude.
the opposite. We want to when we win a division, we want it to be tough. We want to go
Of
like
course, yeah.
when we win worlds, we want it to be. We don't want to have an easy runs to the gold medal at worlds. We want to get out there bloody. We want to get there hurt. We want to go there through struggle. That's how you really feel like you earned it.
I want a tough division, but I don't know about hurt.
This guy's savage. He's like, fuck, I want to lose.